Seats, find your seats. We are going to get started. Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Baxter.
Present.
Vice Mayor Woodward.
Here.
Commissioner Flores. Here. Commissioner Marino.
Here.
Commissioner Powell. Here. Commissioner Sachs. Commissioner Weiss.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you are able, please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear God, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business for our community. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness. Impart your wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. County Administrator Abruzzo, any additions, deletions, or substitutions?
There are. Thank you, Madam Mayor. On page 23, E3 is a revised motion. On page 24, 3F3 is a revised motion. On page 56, 4J is a substitution. On page 56, 4N is an add-on. On page 56, additionally, 4O is an add-on. On page 72, 6F1 is a revised motion. And on page 76, 6J1 is an addition. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Flores, a second by Vice Mayor Woodward. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Please see that that motion carries 6-0. It has also come to my understanding that Commissioner Sachs would like to participate via remotely. I will entertain a motion to make that happen.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Marino and a second by Vice Mayor Woodward. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Please see that the motion carries 5-1. Thank you so much. Moving on to consent agenda. Would anyone
Mayor,
like?
may I be recognized?
Yes.
Can you please state the nay? Okay.
Commissioner Flores.
Thank you.
Moving on to consent agenda. Would anyone like to pull anything from consent? Not seeing anything, I will entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Marino, a second by Vice Mayor Woodward. All in favor? Any opposed? Please see that that motion carries 6 on consent. Do we have cards on consent, Commissioner Flores? Before we vote, we will take the cards.
We have 4 cards. We have Shayla Gaines, Ray Whitney, Pastor Ray Whitney, Charles Ridley, and Pastor Phil Dural. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
If you would, please fill both podiums if you heard your name called. We are going to give them 2 minutes apiece, please, Vice Mayor Woodward. Yep. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Pastor Ray Whiteley. And first of all, I would like to thank the Commission for the opportunity to serve Palm Beach County in a deeper and more intentional way. We appreciate your consideration for Project Engage and the trust that it represents in community-based solutions. Before anything else, I'm a pastor. In that role, I kept seeing something that I could not ignore. Individuals and families in our communities were struggling not only with substance use and mental health challenges, but with everything connected to them. Broken families, lost opportunities, untreated pain, and the cycle that kept repeating from one generation to the next. Also saw another reality. Many of our returning citizens that were coming home from incarceration without the support that they needed to rebuild their own lives, and in many cases, substance use was part of the pathways that led them into the system in the first place. So I made a decision. Instead of starting another church, I started Trinity Counseling Center. We built an organization that's designed to meet people where they are, walk with them through recovery, and address their personal, family, and community impact of behavioral health challenges. Project Engage is a natural extension of that mission. It focuses on 3 areas. First, it builds resilience at zip code level. Second, increasing access and connection to culturally relevant services for individuals and families. And thirdly, building strong faith-based support network that reaches people in spaces that they already know, already trust, and already turn into their moment of crisis. Our team would love to thank you for the opportunity. This is not just providing services, it is strengthening communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next up, please state your name for the record.
I'm Philip Dvorak. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here representing Recovery Church Movement, and I want to speak to one of the most important components of Project Engage, spiritual transformation. When we talk about substance use and behavioral health, we're not only talking about physical and mental health conditions, we're talking about spiritual brokenness, loss of purpose, disconnection. For many people, real recovery requires more than just medical treatment. It requires transformation. That's where TCC and the Recovery Church Movement comes in. We integrate the spiritual principles of faith community along with the 12 steps of recovery together to create a pathway for individuals seeking faith-centered approach to recovery and healing. Let me be clear, we believe in treatment, we believe in therapy. I'm actually a licensed mental health therapist, but together they create a pathway for individuals seeking a faith-centered approach. And we make sure those options are available. But we also provide something more, pathways that help people reconnect with their purpose, rebuild their identity, and re-engage as active, contributing members of society. We're not just offering support groups, we're building a community where people find freedom, grow in their recovery together, and become leaders who help others do the same. And just as important, we equip churches and congregations to become recovery-friendly environments, places where people aren't judged, they are supported. Because when the faith community is equipped, it becomes one of the strongest recovery support systems in this county. Project Engage understands that lasting change requires addressing the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of this great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Anyone else that was called? Commissioner Flores.
We have Shayla Gaines and Charles Ridley.
Are Sheila Gaines or Charles Ridley in here? If somebody could please allow Sheila Gaines or Charles Ridley to enter the chambers.
He's here for the photo. You want me to recognize him? And we got Susie's in the middle.
They're on their way. Good morning, sir. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Charles Ridley. This is all I need to say right now. Give me a second to catch my breath and find my, I got here in time, I promise.
Take your time.
Jesus, help me. Okay. Good morning, Commission.
Good morning.
My name is Chuck Ridley, and I'm a member of the Trinity team and a 36-year recovering crack addict. I want to briefly walk you through what it means to build recovery, resiliency at the neighborhood level, and why that approach is so important. When we launched the Recovery Ready Neighborhood Coalitions, and 5 marginalized communities in Palm Beach County, one being Delray Beach, Boynton Beach, Lake Worth, Riviera, and Belglades. These are all communities that have been disproportionately burdened when it comes to substance use, mental health challenges, and limited access. And it's important to be clear, before there was an opiate epidemic, there was a crack epidemic. And many of the same neighborhoods that we're targeting were impacted by the crack epidemic, but they were not treated the way they can be treated now. Those neighborhoods was hit with a criminal justice approach as opposed to a public health approach. Now we get a chance to go in, Trinity Council with Drug Abuse Foundation gets a chance to go in and address these neighborhoods with persons with lived experience like myself, returning citizens, clergy, community active, first responders, people who are of the community, by the community, to now begin the healing process that is so long deserved for those of us who've carried this burden for so long. So what makes this different? This is not a program that I guess I'm done.
Thank
Well,
you,
it's a
sir.
good program. All right.
Good morning. Go ahead. Commissioner Flores, you're recognized.
Mr. Ridley, I actually wanted to hear what you were about to say regarding the program.
So let me just talk to you. So let me just start again. What makes
Briefly.
it different? It's going to be brief, I promise you. What makes it different is that we are addressing this not just at the individual level, we're addressing it at the community level. That's where the healing should come. You heard Pastor Whiteley say why he got into it. You heard Pastor Phil share why he got into it. And those 3 components not only hit the community itself, but it also addresses the issues that we need to put around support and how we transform these communities. If we don't use a public health approach, we're just going to be doing the same thing that we've already done. And so community is leading, wanting to partner with your staff and you to make transformation for those who need it the most. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Sheila Jo Gaines. Good morning, Commissioners. I will be less than the 3 minutes I think I get. My name is Sheila Gaines, and I am the Chief Operating Officer for Trinity Community Connection. One thing we have learned through the work is that multiple things can be true at the same time. Yes, we must address community-level challenges, but we also have to make sure people can access the services that already exist. The reality is Palm Beach County has a strong service providers like organizations like Integrated Healthcare Systems, Genesis Community Health, the Drug Abuse Foundation, and many others that are doing great work. The challenge is not always the absence of services. The challenge is access. Too often our neighbors are not connected to these resources. So TCC has developed 2 strategies to close that gap. The first is the Neighborhood Wellness Alliance. This is a coordinated network of service providers, law enforcement, the Public Defender's Office, business leaders, and community partners. The group meets regularly with leadership from neighborhood coalitions to solve problems and align resources based on real-time needs coming from the community. The second strategy is simple but powerful. We take the services directly to the people. We are partnering with local faith-based leaders to establish faith-based neighborhood wellness centers. These are trusted spaces in the community where people already feel safe. Through these centers, we will host pop-up health fair styles events that will bring multiple service providers into the neighborhood at one time. This removes barriers, builds trust, and creates real access. Because access is not about availability. It is about proximity, trust, and connection. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
We have,
We have one more.
last.
Alexandria Larson.
because I'd prefer you did not vote consent through, because there's people outside that could not get in today, Commissioners, a whole bunch of them. They let everybody in for the proclamations, not the regular people, so I don't know what to
Excuse me,
tell
Ms.
you.
Larson, anyone who turned in cards who wanted to speak was
No.
allowed in, as you saw.
No, I have a friend downstairs, she can't even get into the building. Sharon waits right downstairs.
And she wanted to speak on consent?
Yes, there was something, and I didn't ask her what number or anything, and I apologize, but, the way that it was handled isn't quite perfect, but she should be able to speak on it before you vote on it. Thank you.
Thank you. What would the... If we could find, what was her name, Ms. Larson? Sharon Wape. Commissioner Weiss, you're recognized.
Yeah, Mayor, maybe while we're waiting for Sharon, we could start with, hold the vote on consent in abeyance until she gets up here, and we can start with our proclamations. Just
Is
a
the band
suggestion.
in here? They had to leave? Right. While we wait for her, we will put the vote on hold, and we will start with proclamations. So if you are here for National Travel and Tourism Week, I ask that you come forward to this podium. And then if you are here for Haitian American Heritage Month, we will have you come to the left podium. Thank you. Okay. Everyone up here, good morning. So, today's proclamation is National Travel and Tourism Week. Whereas the travel industry is critical to growing our local economy. Whereas the Palm Beach County Tourist Development Council agencies, including Discover the Palm Beaches, Cultural Council of Palm Beach County, the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, the Palm Beach County Film Commission, and the Palm Beach County Convention Center, develop marketing and sales strategies to support tourism and generates an annual economic impact to the local economy of $11.3 billion. Whereas Palm Beach County tourism industry in 2025 welcomed 10.7 million visitors who enjoyed our beaches, attending sporting and cultural events, stayed in hotels, dined and shopped in our businesses. Whereas these tourism activities directly related to 96,000 jobs to our residents, boosting our overall economy and supporting the well-being of all. Whereas the Tourist Development Council is contracted agencies work to provide destination awareness nationally and internationally that has driven Palm Beach County's tourism, which enriches the lives of visitors and residents alike. Whereas citizens are urged to join the special observance of National Travel Rally Day on May 7th, 2026. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, this 5th day of May, 2026, that May 3rd to the 9th, 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed National Travel and Tourism Week. Thank you, everyone.
Well, good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Administrator. I'm Emmanuel Perry, Executive Director for the Tourist Development Council. And on behalf of the entire tourism industry, extremely honored and privileged to be able to market this county that we call home. The video was a snippet of what we recently just brought to the county, which was the National Battle of the Bands. It's one of the many pillars that we look to build a foundation for moving forward. Thanks to this board and the site, we were able to get the tourism master plan approved, and we'll have many different initiatives that will come down the pipeline, which actually captivate our flavor, our culture, and our lifestyle. Again, thank you.
We're gonna take pictures. Mr. Powell, if you wanna. Hi, everyone. If we can turn facing that way, we'll take a picture.
All right, while they're taking their picture, I'd like to, we're going to be proclaiming Haitian Heritage Month. And if I can have our Community Service Department come up, Dr. James Green and Dr. Joanna Enois. All right. All right, here we go. So declaring May 2026 as Haitian American Heritage Month, whereas Haitian American Heritage Month is a jubilant celebration in the United States embracing Haitian heritage and culture. And whereas though origination in Boston, Massachusetts in 1998, Haitian American Heritage Month is observed nationwide during the month of May with parades, festivals, and school activities. Whereas Haitian American Heritage Month acknowledges Haitian and Haitian American communities through appreciation for their cultures and heritage, which enrich the lives of all people in the United States. And whereas as health and human service providers, educators, authors, community leaders, activists, athletes, artists, musicians, and politicians, Haitian Americans have made their mark in every facet of society, contributing to the betterment and diversity of our communities. And whereas May 18th is Flag Day in Haiti, honoring Haitian forefathers and replenishing resolve for Haiti's future. And whereas the United States thrives as a melding of immigrants united by common values and the promise of better tomorrow. And whereas the Haitian community of Palm Beach County, Florida, initiated the first Heritage Month celebration in 2001 and contributed significantly to the expansion of Haitian Heritage Month nationwide. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled at this regular session on the 5th day of May 2026, that May 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed Haitian American Heritage Month.
I welcome any Haitian Americans who's in the crowd to please join me up here. Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and honored guests. My name is Dr. Joanna Enois. I am currently with the Palm Beach County Community Services Department. As a first-generation Haitian American and Palm Beach County native, our community would like to thank you for this proclamation recognizing Haitian American Heritage Month. On behalf of the community here in Palm Beach County, we accept this with deep gratitude and pride. This moment is more about recognition. It's about honoring the legacy and resilience, courage, contribution from the historic triumph of the Haitian Revolution, the first successful Black republic here in the Western Hemisphere. To countless ways, Haitian Americans have strengthened our local communities. This heritage is one rooted with perseverance and possibility. Here in Palm Beach County, Haitian Americans are an essential part of our shared history. They are small business owners, healthcare professionals, educators, public servants, faith leaders, and families who contribute every day to the cultural richness and economic vitality of our community. They represent what we strive for as a county: hard work, faith, unity, and belief that opportunity should be within reach for everyone. Thank you again to the Board of County Commissioners for this honor and for your continued commitment to celebrating the diversity that defines and unites us. Thank you.
While they take their picture, I'd like to have the attendees for Suncoast Community High School's boys basketball team, the 2026 Florida High School Sports and Athletic Association Class 4A state champions. First, I'd like to have the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, George Lindley, the Executive Director, James Taylor, Director of Sports Development, Bishop O'Shea Granger, the President of the Board of Palm Beach County Sports Commission, Regine Hill, Sports Commission, the Suncoast Administration and coaches, Coach Jason Powell, Coach Bishop O'Shea Granger, Coach Oliver Batty, Catherine Connor, Principal, Autumn Ramsey, Athletic Director, Aaron Keevy, Assistant Principal, the boys basketball team players, Jamari Harris, Quentin Nesbitt, Connor Williams, Kyrie McKelton, S.J. Schneider Jerome, Victor Diaz, Anthony Gatlin, Elijah Colin, Alexander Stewart, Shiloh Florimon, Stefan Davis, Fritz Nesbitt, Morvins Minardi. Now the moment you've been waiting for. Congratulations, coaches, gentlemen, and Sports Commission. It's a great time to see that not only are you teaching and coaching them how to be great basketball players, but overall, the overall athlete. And I've had the opportunity to engage with a few of them, and the students are truly tremendous. Now, this is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, recognizing Suncoast Community High School boys basketball team as the 2026 FHSAA Class 4A state champions. Whereas Palm Beach County's Board of County Commissioners is dedicated to championing the Palm Beaches as a global sports destination and celebrating the elite athletic talent that thrives within our borders. And the Suncoast Community High School boys basketball team has exemplified this excellence by capturing the 2026 FHSAA Class 4A state championship, marking the first state title for the program in 36 years. And by finishing the season with an impressive 25-5 record and securing a dominant 85-62 victory in the state final, the Chargers have brought the championship trophy back to Palm Beach County, further solidifying our region's status as a powerhouse for boys varsity basketball. And the tireless dedication of head coach Jason Powell and staff, and the championship caliber performances of the 2025/26 athletes serve as a testament to the high quality sports culture fostered throughout our 39 cities and towns. And whereas this historic achievement not only inspires the next generation of athletes, but also highlights the unrivaled sports environment and community spirit that make Palm Beach County the premier destination for sports in Florida. Suncoast Community High School is also widely recognized for the exceptional academic talent, consistently ranking among the top high schools in Florida and the nation. Its rigorous magnet programs, elite test performance, near perfect graduation, and AP participation rates make it a standout for academically driven students. Whereas today, we celebrate and recognize the Suncoast Chargers boys basketball team for their monumental success and for serving as an outstanding ambassador of academics, athleticism, and sportsmanship for Palm Beach County. Now, therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May, 2026, the board recognizes Suncoast Community High School boys basketball team as the 2026 FHSAA Class 4A state champions.
Commissioner Powell, would you please have them join us up here on stage?
Absolutely. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
allow Coach Granger to say a few words, and then we'll go up stage and get a picture behind the flags.
Thank you.
To the county commission and to this great community at a place called Paradise, we say thank you on behalf of our administration, our principal, athletic director, illustrious head coach, coaching staff, and these incredible student athletes. They have exhibited not only the athleticism that you've seen and heard about on the court, but they have mastered academia at the apex and highest level. We are so incredibly proud. We heard at the beginning of this meeting today, gentlemen talking about crack addiction, about other types of addictions. When we pour into these young people, it certainly does prohibit them from being candidates for going down that road. Thank you.
The athletic director's meeting. So he'll say hi to all of them.
All right. So we are now proclaiming Green Acres 100th anniversary. Very exciting. If I can have my mayor, Jock Shaw, come up. We have Vice Mayor Susie Diaz, City Manager Andrew McHugh, Austin Lee, Quinn Moore, Suzanne Skidmore, Carlos Cedeno, Denise Malone, Michelle Thompson, Dr. Phil Harris, Captain Craig Turner from PBSO District 16th, come up. And anybody that lives in Green Acres, come forward. So this one's special for me. Obviously, before being elected to the county commission, I was the former mayor of the city of Green Acres, and I have a little part of this 100 years. So it's a great honor to be able to do this with the city of Green Acres in partnership. So, and recognize them for the great work that they do and they provide to our residents and our community. So, recognizing the 100th anniversary of the City of Green Acres, whereas the City of Green Acres was founded by Mr. Lawrence Carter Swain, whose vision was to provide affordably priced land to middle-class working families so they could build comfortable homes and create a thriving community. Whereas the City of Green Acres was incorporated May 24, 1926, as the town of Green Acres City, with an estimated population of approximately 1,250 residents. Mr. Swain adopted "Good Place to Live" as the city's official slogan. Whereas in its early years, the town endured several natural disasters, both before and after incorporation, yet the resilience and determination of its residents led to the rebuilding and strengthening of the community. And whereas today the City of Green Acres is a thriving municipality of more than 45,000 residents, encompassing 6 square miles with numerous schools, parks, recreational amenities that serve and enrich the community. And whereas the City of Green Acres, a century of growth, it honors its history, recognizes the contribution of its residents, businesses, and leaders, and embraces its future under its new slogan, "Green Acre Grows With You," reflecting its commitment to progress, opportunity, and community connection, looking forward to a future of continued growth, innovation, and community pride. And whereas the City of Green Acres remains committed to its founding principles and continues to thrive as a great place to live, learn, work, and play. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled on this regular session on this 5th day of May 2026, that Board recognizes the 100th anniversary of the City of Green Acres.
Thank you very much. We really do appreciate this recognition. And on behalf of our city staff, our council, and all of the residents of the city, we thank you for allowing us to be around for 100 years and the growth that we've had. We are extremely proud of a thriving community that's working so hard to serve the community. And our success as a city has not been because of any individual, but because of the team that our city manager and staff have put together and what they've been able to do to work as a team in all of our efforts. We're thriving, we're growing. We would appreciate this very, very much. Thank you so much.
Okay, while they take their picture, I'm going to call up the attendees for Liz Chiarante's day. Liz, please come, your family. We have Craig Williams, Maria Chiarantes, Tulio Chiarantes, Stephanie Chiarantes, Deborah Chiarantes, friends Claudia Shea, Chandra Robinnecker, Wendy Fleming, Judy Lamy, Michelle Issa, and colleagues Taylor Lasota and Jim Grimes. And I really wish I could roll my R's to give your name as proper. It's not easy. I'll let you do that. Okay, today we are recognizing Liz Chiarante's retirement, celebrating 35 years with CBS 12 News. Whereas Liz Chiarantes is an Emmy award-winning journalist and longtime anchor who hosted the 5, 5:30, 6, and 11 p.m. newscasts, serving the community since 1991, when she was born. Liz is a pillar in the community and deeply committed to children's causes, including her every Tuesday Family Forever segment, which has helped foster children find adoptive homes and led to hundreds of successful placements. And whereas beyond Forever Family, she has served on the board of directors for ChildNet, which manages the child welfare system in Broward and Palm Beach counties. The advisory board for aid to victims of domestic abuse, also known as ABDA, promoting violence-free relationships and social change by offering alternative choices to end violence and domestic abuse, and worked for over 10 years with the HOPE Project, which provided low-cost mammography to underserved and uninsured women in Palm Beach and Martin counties. And whereas Liz covered major and international stories throughout her career, including undercover reporting from Cuba, New York City after 9/11, from the Bahamas in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, and led coverage of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland. Whereas Quirantes was named the 2010 Hispanic Woman of Distinction and has been featured as a Palm Beach County beauty for her community work in Palm Beach Illustrated, as well as a recipient of numerous honors, including multiple Suncoast Regional Emmy Awards, Palm Beach Achiever Recognition, Women in Power, and Community Leadership Awards. And she's still so pretty. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May, 2026, that the board recognizes Liz Quirantes' retirement, celebrating 35 years with CBS 12 News.
Thank you. Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and honored guests. I'm truly humbled by this honor to be recognized by Palm Beach County. The community that has been my home for so many years means more than I can express. For 35 years, you have welcomed me into your homes and trusted me to tell your stories. That has been a privilege I have never taken lightly. But this was never just about me. It's also about the incredible colleagues that I work alongside and the organizations that do the real work. You heard some of their names today, especially those supporting children and families. My partnership with Forever Family has been one of the greatest honors of my career. To my family and my friends and my colleagues who are here today, thank you for your trust, for your kindness, and for allowing me to be part of your lives. That's to the community. Thank you so much. And again, my family and friends, thank you for your love and your support. Oh, you're all here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I share this honor with my community, my family, and my friends. Thank you so much.
And point, just a personal privilege. Thank you for always showing up, for being MC at so many nonprofit events and sharing your voice and your story. It means a lot to those people that were there. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And thank you, everyone.
I'm gonna sneak in this picture, okay?
Oh, just a picture. Yeah. All of us, right?
You go in the middle. You go in the middle. You go right next to him.
Mommy gets to go up front. Tina, go in front. Come here. Mommy gets to go. She wants him on this side.
All the guys on this side. Testosterone at the left.
Thank you.
All right, if you got your green on, come on down. I think we're probably gonna end up doing this one. Exactly. Are we gonna end up doing this one in the back? We have way too many people, right? All right, so we are declaring Mental Health and Trauma Awareness Month. If I can't call every single organization because I know we have a lot here today, but I'm going to call a few people. We got Claude Lamar. He will give the remarks today. He's one of the original students from Atlantic Community High School who created the Get Your Green On campaign 11 years ago. We have Palm Beach County Youth Service Departments, Palm Beach County Community Service Departments, and all other Palm Beach County departments and partner agencies who are doing the vital work to support mental health in our community. We are declaring May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness and Trauma-Informed Care Month, whereas mental health is an essential component of overall health and well-being for every resident in Palm Beach County, affecting how we think, feel, and act as we navigate life. Mental wellness leads to higher productivity, better educational outcomes, lower crime, stronger economies, lower healthcare costs, and improved quality of life. Whereas 1 of 4 adults and 1 in 5 youth ages 13 through 18 experience a mental health challenge, making it a universal issue that touches every family, school, and workplace in our community. And whereas significant treatment gaps persist in mental health, 60% of adults and half of all youth do not receive necessary care due to accessibility barriers, limited knowledge, and stigma, yes, stigma, often associated with seeking help. And whereas trauma experiencing youth, known as adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, includes abuse, neglect, household dysfunction, substance misuse, and incarceration. These experiences profoundly disrupt a child's development, brain, and body, frequently resulting in lifelong physical and mental health challenges. And whereas trauma can be healed and positive childhood experience, PCEs, bring hope and build resilience as the antidote to ACE. And whereas Get Your Green On campaign is a grassroots initiative designed to raise awareness, tackle the stigma surrounding mental health, and encourage open, honest conversation, and is celebrating its 11th anniversary in 2026. And whereas by wearing green, a color that represents fresh starts, new beginning, optimism, and energy, and its international color for mental health awareness. Residents of Palm Beach County demonstrate their support for those living with mental health conditions and honor the dedicated professionals who provide care and support. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, faith-based organizations, nonprofit agencies, and Palm Beach County residents is encouraged to erase stigma through awareness and action, create safe and supportive spaces, advocate for access and equity, engage in community support and collaboration, practice self-care, and encourage wellness. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled on this regular session on the 5th day of May 2026, that May 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed Mental Health Awareness and Trauma-Informed Care Month.
Thank you. I didn't really anticipate when I started this with my friends 11 years ago that it would, still exist. And I think that I would like to really, put the spotlight on Lauren Zuckman and Tanya Madison, because we all created a movement and we all kind of left and, because we've become young adults, we have to go to college, we have to, move out of the nest. And they've kept it going, and they kept nurturing it. And I think a big part of, mental health is community. And I think that we've worked really hard on creating a community that is aware about mental health, but also I think that, Lauren Zuckman and Tanya, their work in the community also creates a lot of hope and bonding, and that is very important. Because we can talk about mental health all we want, but if we don't have a good community, then it lacks the resources. And coming back to the community and seeing that the community still, champions mental health awareness and still provide resources, not only for mental health, but for adulthood. A lot of us are in a lot of stress, whether it's buying a house, whether it's starting a child, whether it's jobs, and a lot of these things, and having a community to really provide resources, to get certain things that will help you be mentally healthier, I think is the most important thing. We can talk about mental health all day, but we have to talk about community. We have to focus on community initiatives that can put people at a better place and put people and give people peace of mind. Thank you.
Good luck fitting in.
Why don't you just turn around and take the picture this way?
We can do that. Do you mind?
Let me get in over here. Anybody who wants to get in the picture? Anybody in green?
You gotta get in here.
Marcy, you got your green on?
Front and center.
That can be you, right?
You're ready. You're ready. All the colors of green. All the shades.
I'm short, so it shouldn't be too many. They're taking multiple panoramic pictures. Which is great. That's a great problem to have.
If you can't see the camera, it can't see you.
Just so that you guys know, we have Palm Trans bus that's wrapped downstairs. So if anybody would like to take a picture, you're more than welcome to. I believe the commission's going down at 11 to do that.
For everyone leaving, you have to exit out that side of the chambers.
Okay, we will move on now to the National Correctional Officer and Employee Week attendees. If you could come forward. I have Colonel Alfonso Starling, Major Darlene Morris, Captain William Kinsey, Captain Kimberly Kinsey, Captain Robert Tutko, Captain Meredith Scott, Division Manager Stephanie Peskowitz, Division Manager Juno Thomas, Lieutenant William McLean, Lieutenant Nicole Simpson, and Sergeant Bianca Williams. How are you? Okay, we are declaring May 3rd through 9th, 2026 as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. Whereas National Correctional Officers Week was first established in 1984 by President Ronald Reagan to recognize the often overlooked work of correctional professionals in maintaining security and supporting reentry efforts. Whereas one of the primary goals of correctional officers and employees is to provide an effective corrections system that concentrates on safety, rehabilitation, and humane supervision for all inmates in their care, custody, and control. Whereas correctional employees perform their duties in a high-pressure environment, facing physical and emotional stress, and enduring long hours while ensuring safety inside and outside correctional institutions, maintain professionalism in their role as critical change makers, helping individuals become more productive, skilled, and engaged members of their communities. And whereas Palm Beach County's dedicated correctional officers and employees demonstrate courage, integrity, and a deep sense of responsibility while remaining vigilant in their duties and are essential to the success of our criminal justice process. And whereas all citizens are asked to join in expressing appreciation for the outstanding service of correctional officers and employees and thank them for their service and dedication. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May 2026, that May 3rd through 9th, 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. Thank you.
Mayor, commissioners, and everyone in attendance, we'd just like to say thank you. On behalf of Sheriff Bradshaw, Chief Allen, and those that are here along with everyone that's working in the field of corrections, whether it's the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office or any correctional facility in the country, to be recognized and to be thanked for the work that's being done, it means a lot. As you read the proclamation, there's an area there that just speaks so much for the work that we're actually doing. And it speaks to the fact that everyone here has a before and they have an after. And that's the world that we're in today. It's all about doing good and helping make a positive difference. We thank you.
Thank you. Gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind, and ladies, joining us up on stage for a photo. Thank you, everyone.
Now, if I could have Tuishette Brian Davis, Christian Davenport, Ashley Gibson, and Nydia Ponton to please come up. This is a Preservation Month proclamation presented on behalf of Commissioner Maria Sachs, District 5. Commissioner Sachs could not be here today, so I have the distinct honor and pleasure of presenting this proclamation on her behalf. This is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, declaring May 2026 as Historic Preservation Month. Whereas, historic preservation not only conserves and protects historic buildings, landscapes, and structures of historical significance, but it also retains the stories, experiences, craftsmanship, and design philosophies, creating meaningful connections to the human experience. And whereas establishing historic districts showcases the unique character of neighborhoods, preserves cultural heritage, provides its residents with a sense of belonging, and instills a sense of pride and connection to a shared heritage. And visiting historic sites allows people to engage with history beyond what can be read in textbooks or in a classroom. An immersive experience can offer insight into the struggles of societal change, spark the imagination to understand the significance of a shared history, and open minds to new ideas, practices, beliefs, and acceptance. And preservation of historic places can stabilize the tax base, increase property values, protect local investments, encourage revitalization and boost tourism, enhancing the livability and sustainability of communities, and historic places and museums account for 9.1% of Florida's tourism industry, including visitors at archaeological sites, state parks, historic sites, and museums. And whereas historic preservation activities in Florida contributed to $6.3 billion annually, inclusive of heritage tourism, historic rehabilitation, and the operation of history museums and activities generated by the Florida Main Street programs, these efforts result in the creation of over 100,000 jobs. And preservation increases public awareness, protects historic sites, ensures future generations can visit sites, experience, appreciate, and recognize the integral role that the past plays in society and the tangible link to heritage creates. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May 2026, that May 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed Historic Preservation Month on behalf of Commissioner Sachs, District 5.
Thank you very much to the mayor, vice mayor, and the other commissioners. Just very quickly, I wanted to add, we also were joined by 3 members of our board, Dr. Clifford Brown, Mr. Steve Rappaport, our chair, Amy Sunny. We appreciate their support, and we look forward to, as we enter the 250th year of the United States of America, in promoting and encouraging people to learn more about our past, not just because it explains where we've come from, but it also shows us how much more we have to do as a nation as we move forward. So thank you very much for the proclamation. Appreciate the support and sentiments of the board, and we will continue to do what we've been doing.
While they take pictures, if you are here for Building Safety Month, please come forward. I will be doing this proclamation on behalf of Commissioner Sachs. Good morning, everyone. Today we are declaring May 2026 as Building Safety Month. Whereas Palm Beach County recognizes the essential role that safety plays in our buildings, homes, and infrastructure, both in everyday life and when disaster strikes. Whereas the strength of our community and its future growth relies on building safety. Whereas building safety is ensured by the dedicated professionals, including building safety, fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry. Their diligent work instills our confidence in the resilience of our community's infrastructure. Whereas Palm Beach County's building division staff are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes and standards to protect us in buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. Whereas building codes and standards are consistently reviewed, enhanced, and modernized to ensure constant safeguards and protect the public from hazards including natural disasters, hurricanes, tornadoes, wildland fires, and floods. Whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role our community code official plays in overall public safety and to assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable building that are essential to our prosperity. Whereas Built to Last, the theme for Building Safety Month 2026, encourages us all to get involved, raise awareness of building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. Whereas each year in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community to acknowledge the essential services provided to all of us by local, state, tribal, territorial, and federal building safety and fire prevention departments in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May, 2025, that May 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed Building Safety Month.
Thank you, Mayor Baxter, Vice Mayor Woodward, County Commissioners, and Administrator Abruzzo. On behalf of the county's building division, we're truly honored to receive this proclamation in recognition of National Building Safety Month. Our division, alongside valued partners, as you mentioned, such as the fire department, plays a critical role in ensuring the built environment across Palm Beach County remains safe for our residents and many visitors. It is a responsibility we carry every single day, often behind the scenes, but always with the understanding that our work directly impacts lives. As building official and director, I am humbled to serve alongside and lead a team of dedicated professionals. I'm also grateful for the support of county administration, including Chief Deputy County Administrator Patrick Rudder, somewhere there, and our Executive Director Whitney Carroll. We remain focused on continuously improving our processes and making good on our renewed promise to deliver exceptional service every time. And while today's proclamation highlights building safety, I also want to recognize the broader work of our department, planning, zoning, and building. We recently implemented our Development Concierge Program, an invitation-based pilot designed to improve how industry professionals navigate the development review and permitting process. And this is an important step forward. It allows us to listen more closely, measure our performance more effectively, and make real-time improvements that benefit both our customers and our staff. And as we refine the program, participation is currently offered at no cost with the goal of future expansion. At its core, this effort reflects our commitment to simplifying the development process from start to finish, and being a department that is not only focused on compliance, but also a trusted partner and resource. So, in proclaiming Building Safety Month, we don't just review plans and inspect buildings, we help build a safer Palm Beach County, one project, one partnership, one decision at a time. And with your continued support, we will keep raising the standard, ensuring that safety, service, and trust define every project in Palm Beach County. Thank you.
May I have the attendees for Economic Development Week come up? Jonathan Brown, Deputy County Administrator. Axel Miranda, Housing and Economic Development Director. Mary Weimer, Economic Development Director. Dr. Pierre Michael, Twiggs Academy, and Miss Melissa Michael, Twiggs Academy. This is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida. Get ready. Declaring May 4th through the 8th, 2026 as Economic Development Week. Whereas economic development professionals play a critical role in enhancing the economic well-being and quality of life in our communities by supporting initiatives that create, retain, and expand job opportunities while strengthening the local tax base. And Palm Beach County has developed a comprehensive economic development strategy to attract businesses in competitive industries while cultivating a skilled and diverse workforce. And the county's business and economic development programs provide accessible financing options for new and existing businesses, including long-term fixed or variable rate financing at interest rates lower than conventional loans, as well as subordinate financing that helps bridge funding gaps between private lenders and equity investments. And through the leadership of the Palm Beach County Department of Housing and Economic Development and its collaboration with key partners, the county continues to generate meaningful economic results that strengthen the local economy and expand our opportunities for residents and businesses. And over the past 3 years, the department has assisted more than 2,000 businesses, advanced 87 collaborative initiatives, and supported the commitment of over 7,100 new jobs and more than 7,000 retained jobs, demonstrating the impact of coordinated efforts that promote business growth and long-term economic prosperity. Palm Beach County proudly supports the expansion and redevelopment of Twiggs Academy in the town of Lake Park, a $7.3 million capacity from 93 to 227 students, and create at least 10 new full-time jobs, and in recognition of its long-standing commitment to early childhood education. Now we're ready. Twiggs Academy received the 2025 Lifetime Achievement Award from Bridges at Lake Park. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May 2026, that May 4th through the 8th, 2026, here in Palm Beach County, is hereby proclaimed Economic Development Week. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you for everything, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and all the commissioners here. You guys are servants, and we're thankful for that, and we're grateful for the opportunity. Twiggs Academy has been around for nearly 40 years, changing lives through education, and we believe with everything in our fiber of being that education is just one of the tools that we can use to change the world. So I wanted our executive director to just share just a few special comments.
Good morning. Twiggs Academy, we are so humbled to be a part of a long line of educators. Here at Twiggs Academy, in order for us to be able to accomplish that or held to a higher standard, where we have been extended accreditation of Apple Accreditation, who hold us to the highest standard of teaching qualities and making sure our classrooms and everything we exude help us to assist in educating these kids. We're in a community that we see that is so desperately needed. And so we also have an opportunity also to help our kindergartners to get ready in VPK. We don't just babysit, we teach, and we keep our kids safe. And so our kids get a chance to go to kindergarten, not only they don't know just their 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, they actually know how to write their first and last name and also begin to read before they enter kindergarten. So I am so excited to realize that we have another opportunity to extend this into a community that's so need to realize that education is needed in this community.
So a special thanks to Commissioner Powell. He not only heard about the vision, but he actually decided, you know what, I'm gonna go there, walk the grounds, see it for myself. And so we're especially thankful for you. Special thanks to Mary, Amanda, and Carlos, and all of the people that are behind me. Things don't happen until everybody comes together and sees a vision that realizes, you know what, this one decision could actually affect generations. And if you've ever met Mary and Amanda, they have the heart the size of this room. They do. And we're extremely thankful for that. Thank you again.
Excuse me, Ms. Larson. We're asking for your help if you could join the administrator over there. Thank you.
Good morning, and while they're taking their picture, could I have, do we have letter carriers here? Is somebody, AFL-CIO? Did you bring the mail? Good morning. Well, good morning. We are declaring May 9th, 2026 as National Association of Letter Carriers Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. Yeah, that deserves an applause. Yeah. The letter carriers, they do this each and every year. On the second Saturday of May, letter carriers across the country collect non-perishable foods as part of the nation's largest food drive and distribute donations to our local food banks. Despite the wealth in Palm Beach County, more than 192,000 residents, including 51,000 children, do not have enough to eat daily. 2026 marks the 34th anniversary of the National Association of Letter Carriers Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive, where more than 2 billion pounds of food has been collected nationally since its inception. The National Association of Letter Carriers, local chapter 1690, collects more than 500,000 pounds of food annually to help fight hunger as part of the countywide hunger relief plan. United Way of Palm Beach County, the Palm Beach County Food Bank, Farm Share, the AFL-CIO, and the U.S. Postal Service Rural Carriers are all proud partners supporting the Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. The public is encouraged to participate on this food drive by leaving non-perishable food donations by mailboxes and in post offices to help feed the hungry of all ages in our community, especially during the summer months when resources are limited. Together, Palm Beach County can stamp out hunger. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May 2026, that May 9th, 2026, in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed National Association of Letter Carriers Stamp Out Food Hunger Drive Day. Congratulations.
Good morning and thank you. We accept this honor. This is a very good honor. I am Jeffrey Wagner, President, NALC, National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 1690. This is, as he stated, the largest one-day food drive in the nation. It is an honor for letter carriers who serve their community every day, bringing the drugs, the packages, the Mother's Day cards, which of course don't forget your mother's, mail a card because they love it, right? So we encourage you next Saturday, please, everybody, put out some food, whether it be one can or a whole bag full of food. The food banks need it, the hungry children need it, and those that are struggling through these hard times need it. So that is all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so while they're taking their pictures, thank a Youth Worker Day. There's lots of folks in the room that would like to be in on this, so anyone from Youth Services, Parks and Rec, Library, Community Services, Public Safety, Fire Rescue, financially assisted agencies, summer camp scholarship programs, come on up. So while you're making your way here, I'm going to go ahead and start reading this proclamation declaring May 7th, 2026 as Thank a Youth Worker Day. Now, I don't have the flourish of Bobby Powell, so I'm just going to read. Bobby, I wish I could absorb that. So, whereas youth workers comprise a diverse group of employees and volunteers that work with or on behalf of children and young people, both directly and indirectly in our communities, including in schools, parks, community centers, mental health programs, faith-based centers, libraries, childcare, and early learning centers, and more, whereas committing themselves to investing in our young people, their personal, social, and educational development while creating opportunities for them and raising the future leaders of our society, youth workers devoted their time and talent to nurturing young people and helping them transition through life stages while engaging in healthy and safe activities essential to their development. Whereas youth workers are present from early childhood education through high school graduation and beyond, providing support in and out of school time enrichment, recreation, vocational development, employment, and life skills, working alongside child welfare, mental health, developmental disability, runaway and homeless services, and juvenile justice advocacy systems. Whereas the Palm Beach County Board of County Commissioners formally established the Youth Services Department in 2015 to empower youth and families to realize their full potential and be the driving force of a thriving community by providing quality services countywide. including free therapy services, education, and access to resources and opportunities. And whereas Palm Beach County recognizes the importance of youth workers in our community, the magnitude of the impact of their work, and expresses sincere gratitude to youth workers for their commitment to our young people and the investment in future positive social and economic benefits. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners assembled in regular session this 5th day of May 2026, that May 7th in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed Thank a Youth Worker Day. I'm happy to sponsor this, and who would like to speak?
Thank you so much. Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Thank you so much for this proclamation. We're so excited to have this recognition of so many professionals and volunteers who support young people in our community and grow brighter futures. Youth workers provide safe spaces for children through age 18 to learn, grow, dream, and become their best selves. They respond in times of joy and in times of crisis. They celebrate a child's successes and coach them through disappointments and help them heal from adverse childhood experiences and partner with families to create positive childhood experiences. Youth workers open doors of opportunity, of perspective, and of information. And that influence of a youth worker is not limited to the single child who receives the support or services. Investing in youth and valuing youth workers creates a wide, far-reaching ripple effect that benefits families, classrooms, neighborhoods, and businesses, enhancing our community in ways seen and felt for years to come. So we thank you so much for your investment, for growing brighter futures, and for recognizing the value and importance of youth workers in Palm Beach County. Thank you.
If you are here for National Apprenticeship Week, please come forward. That would include people from Palm Beach State College, the School District of Palm Beach County, Career Source, PBC, and John Carter from ABC.
Sorry, we're all on this side.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
This proclamation that we are doing today is declaring April 26th through May 2nd, 2026 as National Apprenticeship Week. Whereas the United States Department of Labor has designated April 26th to May 2nd, 2026 as the inaugural Spring National Apprenticeship Week, recognizing the vital role that registered apprenticeship plays in preparing a highly skilled workforce for America's industries. Whereas registered apprenticeship programs combine paid on-the-job training with related classroom. Let's give them a second to exit chambers. Whereas registered apprenticeship programs combine paid on-the-job training with related classroom and lab instruction, leading to industry-recognized credentials, high-quality employment opportunities, and sustainable wages for workers in a wide range of in-demand occupations. Whereas Palm Beach State College trains apprentices through career certification program apprenticeship pathways that blend structured on-the-job training with related technical instruction provided at the college and at various training locations across the central Palm Beach County. Whereas Palm Beach State College registered apprenticeship programs, including HVAC, electrical, and plumbing trades, typically span 4 to 5 years and provide approximately 2,000 hours of on-the-job training and at least 144 hours of related classroom or lab instruction per year, preparing apprentices for journey person status and long-term career advancement. Whereas these apprenticeship programs help meet Palm Beach County's workforce needs by promoting a skilled, competent workforce and access to high-wage jobs while ensuring that today's apprentices become the business and industry leaders of tomorrow and contribute to economic vitality and quality of life in our community. Whereas apprenticeships at Palm Beach State College expand opportunity for individuals from diverse backgrounds by allowing them to earn while they learn, reducing educational debt, and gain a clear pathway to family-sustaining careers. Whereas Palm Beach State College Its faculty and staff, apprenticeship sponsors, employer partners, apprenticeship exemplifies the collaborative spirit and innovation that National Apprenticeship Week is intended to celebrate. Now therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, that April 26th to May 2nd, 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed National Apprenticeship Week. I cannot tell you how important apprenticeship programs are. It is so vital to everything. My husband is a product of it. We own an auto repair shop because he was able to be an apprentice and go to a vocational school that allowed for him to get the skills needed to do that. It has been a top priority of mine. Because the sheriff has recently sent a letter stating he will need his land to proceed forward with law enforcement opportunities, I have been working with staff to help find a new location because we absolutely need vocational schools. We absolutely need apprenticeship programs in this county. It is vital to everything we do and has been a top priority of mine. So once we are able to locate that, I plan to bring it to this board and ask for their help and support into making that come to fruition. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor Baxter. Good morning. In recognition of National Apprenticeship Month, I want to highlight the impact of registered apprenticeships in our community. Through partnerships with Palm Beach State College, the School District of Palm Beach County, and CareerSource, we're creating pathways for residents to earn while they learn, building careers in high-demand fields without student debt. At the same time, we're helping local employers develop the skilled workforce they need. This education is education and economic development working together, and we truly appreciate your continued support. Thank you so much, Commissioners. We appreciate you.
And while they're getting their photos, could I ask the water people that are here to join me up here? So that would be Water Utilities, South Florida Water Management District, and Loxahatchee River District. Morning. Who's delivering the water?
Thank you.
All right. We are declaring that May 17th through 23rd will be in 2026 as Water Reuse Week. Whereas safe, clean, and sustainable water resources are essential to Florida's environment, economy, residents, visitors, and let's just be honest, our lives. Although Florida's water supply are finite, the state's population and the need for water resources continues to grow. Water reuse provides a means for conserving and augmenting Florida's precious water resources, preserving wetlands, while planning responsibly for future growth through smart planning and limiting of development. Florida has established the encouragement and promotion of water reuse as a state objective in chapters 373 and 403 of Florida statutes. And Florida has risen to be a national leader in water reuse, reusing approximately 900 million gallons of reclaimed water per day, more than 55% of the wastewater treated to conserve freshwater supplies and recharge our freshwater resources. Florida's permitted reuse capacity is more than 1.5 billion gallons per day, approximately 60% of Florida's total permitted capacity for all domestic wastewater treatment facilities. Whereas May, typically a dry month when water demands are high, is a good time to educate the water on how Florida can help save precious water resources through water reuse. Water Reuse Florida, the state section of the Water Reuse Association, has proclaimed the week of May 17, 2023 as Florida Water Reuse Week. Palm Beach County Water Utilities Department has joined with Water Use Florida and Loxahatchee River and the South Florida Water Management Districts in encouraging and promoting water reuse and conservation. Whereas Palm Beach County has implemented a water reuse program and encourages efficient and effective use of reclaimed water. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners assembled in regular session on this 5th day of May 2026 that May 17th through 23rd, 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed Water Reuse Week.
Commissioner Weiss, thank you as always. Appreciate it. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner, Administrator Abruzzo, thank you for the proclamation of recognizing the Water Reuse Week and for your continued support for sustainable water practices in our community. Millions of gallons of high-quality reclaimed water are generated and distributed every day in Palm Beach County to support irrigation, power generation, and the environment. I would like to recognize the water reuse experts and utilities in the room, Palm Beach County Water Utilities, the East Central Regional Reclamation Facility, and the Loxahatchee Water District for their outstanding work and dedication to water reuse. I would also like to mention the South Florida Water Management District as a valued partner in these efforts. Lastly, thank you to Administrator Abruzzo for his passion and for water reuse and his continued support.
Need to also acknowledge my hometown, City of West Palm Beach Water Utilities in the house.
Quick, come on, let's do this like kids get a selfie. Squeeze in Commissioner Weiss, please.
And now, for the final proclamation of the morning,
Congratulations. Great work.
Emergency Medical Services Week. So I'm guessing half of the people in this room are involved in emergency medical services. So I would like to invite up Palm Beach County Division of Emergency Management, Palm Beach County Departments Fire Rescue Public Safety, representatives from AMR, HCA, the EMS Advisory Council, and Elite Medical Response. If you are in the room and would like to partake in this lovely photo and proclamation, come on up. Oh, keep coming. Come on. Come on. Just keep on coming down. Come on. There's a lot of people. This is a lot of people taking care of all of us. How are you all today? This is a proclamation of the Board of County Commissioners of Palm Beach County, Florida, declaring May 17th through 24th, 2026 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas the providers of emergency medical services devote their lives to saving others and are part of a vital public service, and whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, other out-of-hospital medical care providers, and the mechanics that keep the units responding. These service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Whereas the residents and visitors of Palm Beach County rely on the knowledge, skill, and dedication of these professionals in times of emergencies, when early access to quality emergency care can dramatically improve the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas education, prevention, and advances in emergency medical care increase the number of lives saved each year, and whereas it is important to recognize the value and accomplishments of emergency medical services during Emergency Medical Services Week and throughout the year. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners assembled in regular session this 5th day of May 2026 that May 17th through 24, 2026 in Palm Beach County is hereby proclaimed Emergency Medical Services Week. Thank you so much for all you do to keep us all safe and healthy. And I don't know, who wants to talk? Introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Anna Thomas. I'm the Director of Philanthropy for Palm Beach State College. We are overwhelmed with the support of AMR, American Medical Response. They are a partner, and today we would like to declare them a partner to Palm Beach State. Their overwhelming support with philanthropy of supporting students with 50 scholarships, as well as supporting our students with outreach, ride-alongs, and mentoring. It's overwhelming. This is a life-saving role, and it's a role that takes our students to the next steps of becoming responders. So we are very grateful for AMR's support. We today would like to announce AMR as our official EMT partner. Thank you.
Good morning, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and County Administration, public safety partners, and members of our community. On behalf of EMS providers throughout Palm Beach County, thank you for this proclamation recognizing Emergency Medical Services Week. My name is Sean Gibson. I'm one of the EMS division chiefs in the county for Delray Beach. It's an honor to accept the proclamation on behalf of the men and women who serve in EMS every day. Across our county, EMS providers answer calls during some of the most difficult times in a person's life. They do this work with skill, compassion, and strong commitment to the people who serve. EMS is often the first point of contact in the healthcare system. The care provided in the first few minutes can change the outcome of a patient's life. That responsibility is significant, and our EMS professionals carry it with pride. This week gives us an opportunity to recognize paramedics, EMTs, dispatchers, firefighters, nurses, physicians, educators, hospital partners, and support staff who make the EMS system work. It also reminds us that EMS is not one person, one agency, or one hospital. It's a coordinated system built on teamwork, preparation, and trust. In Palm Beach County, we are fortunate to have dedicated professionals who train constantly, adapt quickly, and continue to serve the way we deliver care. Whether they are working in the field, in communications and training and medical direction, or in hospital receiving facilities, their work matters. To the EMS providers here today and those on duty across our county, thank you. Your service is seen, it is valued, and it makes a difference. On behalf of the EMS providers throughout Palm Beach County, thank you to the Board of County Commissioners for recognizing EMS Week and for supporting the life-saving work being done every day in our community. Thank you.
Let's do this way to do this. Just turn around that way, like we did before. All right, come on in. Climb up here. Wait, I've got all the tall people in front of me. Thank you. Those of you that are not as vertically challenged. I've got heels on, so I'm not so vertically challenged today.
Okay, our mayor had to step away to do an off-site proclamation, so we are going to go ahead and resume the consent agenda. We had one person wanted to speak on that. Commissioner Flores?
Sharon Waite. That's the last speaking card on consent.
So we'll have 2 minutes on the clock.
Okay, good morning. This won't take that long. I'm pretty concise. I was concerned about who TELUS products are.
Do you have an agenda item number you wanted?
3K3.
Is that the end of your comments?
I want to know who they are. And
This is not a question and answer.
well, when it has to do with potable water, I'd like to know who they are because I've never seen a company name on these things before.
Okay. Is that the end of your?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Can we have, thank you. Can we have staff? This is a water utility. Water utility is in the house still, so we could actually right over here. Ms. White, right over here.
Who wants to just go talk?
Yes.
Can't do it. Yep.
So we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Marino. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? See that passes. Is Zach still with us? I think it was 6-0. Okay, so with that, our mayor has had to step away, and there are a number of people who have filled out cards that are on 2 different floors in this building. We are going to actually take an early lunch and come back at 12 so that everyone who wants to be in the room can be here. We have a stack of cards that they're still going through. We want to make sure that everyone that wants to speak on the agenda item, we will resume at 12 sharp with our public hearings. So we are recessed.
First and foremost, before you leave the house, make sure you have your